Hello and a big warm welcome back to the Korean Beauty Show podcast. I am, of course, your host, Lauren Lee, K-beauty expert, founder of Style Story, where you can shop, learn, and explore the world of Korean beauty, and your guide to everything you need to know to perfect your beauty routine. So on today's episode, what I wanted to do is run through some of the top makeup tips that I have picked up over the years, living here, I guess, talking with Korean makeup artists about some of the ways that we can help to get dry skin looking like it's not flaking, cracking, and getting that really cakey look. These tips are also going to be helpful for you, even if you don't have dry skin, but if you do live somewhere that experiences like a proper winter, where, you've got the heater blasting and your skin just really feels the effects of, the temperature difference between the indoors and outdoors. So stick around if you are keen to pick up some tips and tricks for your makeup today. Now, as a person with dry skin who also lives somewhere that has a really, really long, harsh winter, I have battled with this for many, many years. So I have tried so many different things just on myself, but I've also spoken to lots of different Korean makeup artists just to see how they prefer to tackle this, because this is a really, really common problem, particularly during the change of seasons. A lot of people in Korea experience lots of differences and variations in their skin, in its condition, and experiencing things like dryness when they didn't previously have it, maybe some breakouts and things like that. So these are just some hacks, some quick tips that will get your skin looking glowing, even though, it might not necessarily be naturally super hydrated. Maybe the weather is just not cooperating with you. Whatever the case, these tips hopefully will help. So one of the key things for everyone, particularly in winter, is to make sure that your skin is kept hydrated and protected. So when people say they have dry skin, what they really mean is that their skin naturally lacks oil. So whereas other people, particularly those that have oily skin, have really active oil glands, for people that have dry skin, your skin just tends to naturally lack a lot of oil. But skin can be, turned dry or experience symptoms of dryness. These can be exacerbated by environmental factors as well. And I touched on some of these, moving between different temperatures, your artificial heating and cooling. That can really wreak havoc on your skin. So sometimes people can even experience this in summer as well, because the aircon is up to max and you're walking from, a really different temperature outside, maybe really hot and humid, to just, artificial cooling just blasting. That can also be really bad for your skin. And what can happen is that your makeup just does not sit as beautifully or naturally on the skin, just because there's a lot going on underneath the makeup itself. So the top tip that I have picked up, and this one is just something that you'll hear everywhere you go in this country, is make sure you are moisturizing enough. Everyone here is absolutely obsessed with hydration, and that's just because in order for your makeup particularly to sit well, your skin really does need to be properly hydrated. You might need to bump it up a little bit in the colder months of the year. Lots of light layers are a good way to go about that, whether that's with some essences, a hydrating toner, serum, perhaps a bit of a thicker cream that you ordinarily would. But make sure that you are moisturizing morning and night. And if your skin is still feeling a little bit dry, then there are a couple of things you can do. And this is another thing that people have said to me. They're like, I moisturize and moisturize. I do not stop moisturizing and my skin is still dry. So there can be a couple of different causes from that. It could be that there are some other steps in your routine that need a tweak. Cleansers are a really common culprit that can actually have a really big impact on the condition of your skin, and people often overlook them. So if you are finding that your skin still feels dry no matter what, make sure that you are cleansing properly, that you are taking everything off properly, and that you are not using a cleanser that is stripping your skin of oil. So if you are prone to dryness, I would just recommend avoiding things like salicylic acid in a cleanser. You just won't need it. Make sure that you're sticking to pH balanced products as well if you're still feeling dry. The other thing is to, check that your moisturizer is heavy enough for you. A lot of people say, oh, well, I am using moisturizer, but then when they tell me what they're using like a lightweight gel or something like that is just not enough for your skin. So some products that I can recommend if you have skin in your teens and early 20s, Etude House's Moistful Collagen Cream might be a good option for you. If you are a little bit older than that, then Jellicoe Bubble Tea Steam Cream will be perfect because this actually combines the benefits of an oil, a serum, and a moisturizer into a single jar. So it really your skin will just drink it up because it has all of the things that the skin needs, particularly for skin on the drier side. Now, the other thing that will make a really big difference to your makeup if your skin is on the drier side or in winter is to watch your eye area. And this is because one of the first things you'll notice if your makeup does start to dry out, flake, or cake is it will tend to clump up in the fine lines around your eyes. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your eye cream sorted. And some people I know, myself included, actually use a different eye cream in the morning when they're going to be wearing makeup as opposed to the cream that they will use at night. They can go in a lot heavier. One of the products that we consistently hear rave reviews about and people come back again and again to purchase it is Applebee's Propolis Collagen Eye Cream. And that one really has everything that dry skin needs to soften, plump, nourish, and just improve the appearance of those fine lines so that your concealer and your foundation sit really beautifully. So if you are experiencing a lot of that, particularly around the eye area, and it just doesn't look right, rather than load up on concealer, just take a look at what you're actually doing in your skincare routine for that eye area. That would be my first tip, rather than going and purchasing like a whole lot of different products to try and cover up the problem, is actually take a look at, what you're using and are there maybe some tweaks that you could make in your routine to make sure that skin is really nice and hydrated, soft and plump. My number 3 tip for glowing skin, for dry skin or winter skin, is to not forget your primer. Now, people with oily skin are pretty used to dealing with primers because a lot of them help to smooth the pores, mattify the complexion. There are lots of different K-beauty options like Dr. Jart's Pore Remedy Smoothing Primer. Those are the perfect types for people that have the oilier skin types. But there is another category of makeup primer altogether that are perfect for dry skin, and those are your more hydrating primers. Sometimes they're called things like a glow serum or something like that. 2 in particular that I think are really great for creating the perfect base for dry skin and keeping the skin hydrated are Hamish's Artless Glow Base. That is a really, really nice oil to water perfecting primer, and it just gives your skin this soft, natural glow that basically looks like your skin but better, and it plays very nicely underneath your BB cream, your foundation, whatever else you might be using. So that one, definitely check it out if you haven't already. The other one that is quite popular here in Korea is Laneige's Glowy Makeup Serum. And this one is probably more of the kind of serum formula that you would be familiar with, but it's actually designed to leave the skin really smooth, soft, and glowing. It's got ceramides in it and diamond mineral powder as well. That one plays very, very nicely underneath makeup for dry skin. My number 4 tip is to stay away from your powders. Now, I know that powder is often thought of as being, the finish. That's how you end your makeup routine before you leave. But for dry skin, this can actually lead to the skin dehydrating, and it can accentuate any flaking as well. So where possible, what I would recommend is ditch the powders and swap over to a liquid or cream option for your foundation or BB cream. And if you find even with your dry skin, that using something like that, it gives you, too much glow, or it has a finish you don't like, you may just need to have a play around and try some different options. There will be an option out there that won't leave you with a finish that you don't like without needing powder. One of our most popular BB cream, and it has been for years, it is a bestseller, is the Missha M Perfect Cover BB cream, a really, really nice hydrating everyday option, and it doesn't usually require powder to set it. It sets very nicely on its own. It gives you good natural looking coverage, and people don't tend to find that they need a powder with it. If you haven't already, try that one out. Unlike a lot of other Korean BB creams on the market, that one does have a fairly decent range of shades, not the same kind of shades that you're going to see in Western beauty. That is just not a thing here, but more so than a lot of the other products on the market. Skin 79's collection of BB creams also a really, really great option for dry skin. Whether you like that kind of a glowy finish will be a very, very personal preference, but in general, those BB creams work very, very nicely to brighten the complexion and keep the skin really hydrated throughout the day. I have used them for years and I never experience drying, flaking, or caking, and if you do need to touch up during the day, then they are good to do that with, and they don't create any of those kind of problems. So lots and lots of different options for you as well. Purito also has another BB cream that doesn't require a powder to set it as well. So just try and stay away from powders where possible. Powders tend to work best for people that, have really enlarged looking pores, get greasy throughout the day, have oily skin, all of those sorts of things. But if you do have dry skin, that can just accentuate any of those issues if you apply a powder over the top. My number 5 tip is to actually have a think about what you're putting on your skin the night before you do your makeup. So adding something like a sleeping mask into your routine, particularly if you have something that you just want your makeup to look really flawless and your skin to look really bouncy and soft. If you have, an event or, something, a presentation maybe, I don't even know, but something that you're like, I need my skin to be guaranteed to look good tomorrow, then a sleeping mask in your routine the night before is a really, really great way to get that. It is not the same thing as a night cream, and one of the best things about sleeping masks is that the formulas are so versatile and work really well for a lot of different skin types, and this will help if your skincare routine isn't quite giving you everything you need in terms of hydration as well. Our best seller in 2022 was Jellicoe's Cherry Blossom Sleeping Mask, and that one is a jelly textured mask with niacinamide, panthenol, sodium hyaluronate, lots and lots of different things that will just actually absorb into your skin and plump and hydrate it to give you already, when you wake up the next day, that bouncy, dewy look, which means that the products that you put over the top have a lot less work to do because your skin is already kind of there. Now, the other tip, my number 6 tip for dry skin makeup, if you're trying to get it really glowing, is actually not my tip. This is a tip I picked up from lots of other makeup artists who love this product, is to use a hydrating mist and keep that in your bag with you and just spritz it over the top of your makeup throughout the day. You already know that my favorite one is the D'Alba Piedmont White Truffle First Spray Serum, but I'm definitely not the only one. A lot of the makeup artists in Cheongdam-dong, which is one of the big areas around here, for celebrities, for people that are doing photo shoots like models, people who are having their wedding photo shoots done, they will go to the Cheongdam-dong makeup houses and get their makeup done, and this one is actually used by them to set their makeup. It's a very, very popular product, and it's great for makeup because it doesn't take it off. It doesn't cause it to run down your face. It doesn't do anything to move the makeup itself. It literally just hydrates over the top of whatever you're wearing, which is really important. You don't want to be using anything on your face that's going to make your makeup run, that's going to, move it in any way, unsettle it, because that's going to not look very good in a few hours' time. And so that's really, really important when you're choosing what kind of a hydrating mist toner or mist spray or whatnot to use. Other options, if you are looking for something else, Laneige has their Cream Skin Refiner Mist. Now, I personally think this is going to be better to apply it before your makeup. Dr. Jart's Ceramidin Mist is another option. Again, I think this one is probably going to be better before your makeup rather than after. D'Alba actually has another one, a different product called their All Day Serum Makeup Fixer. That's another really good one that you can apply after makeup as well. All of those ones are on the Style Story website under our mist category. We have a whole category for mists because they're just really perfect for so many different people. A lot of people really love the look they give. This is just a really good way to make sure that your makeup stays looking really good and that your skin doesn't sort of dry out throughout the day. So definitely try that if you haven't already. That is one of the little cheats that I've picked up over the years from living here. Now, my last one is that if you are dry, and particularly if your lips tend to dry out, I would recommend opting for a hydrating lip tint rather than a lipstick. So Korea does lip tints very, very well. They are really popular. Apparently, I think I remember sharing last year that they are one of the most popular products in Japan out of the K-beauty things is the lip tints. Romand is one of the brands that I have been using for years. I think they really make beautiful lip tints and they do not dry skin out either or give you that, that awful crusty look around your lips that some products can give. To prep your lips before, you can always try either a lip sleeping mask or you can try something like a gentle lip scrub. But basically these lip tints, the glowing lip tints, will give you a really highly pigmented color but a juicy shine as well. It's basically glossy lips without oiliness. Now, I know that glossy lips is not everyone's preferred look. Some people really like a matte finish, but if you do have dry skin, matte finishes in general can be asking for problems. So if you are finding that, you apply the lipstick and after a couple of hours it just doesn't look really good, maybe try mixing it up with one of these and just see what you think. You might decide that the trade-off of having your lips staying plump, soft and hydrated is preferable to a matte look that then, dries out and looks a little bit crusty. But lip care as well, really important to just keep them in their tip-top condition before you put anything on. That's the big thing I always notice because my lips just have really, really bad propensity to, get really, really dry. I even ended up with eczema on my lips throughout the pandemic. So I've had it all. But in general, lip products do tend to look best when you prep them properly. Lip sleeping masks are one really great way to do that, or just condition them as well. But Romand's lip products, what I have found with them is that even if you just do the bare minimal preparation of your lips beforehand, they tend to stay looking really, really nice throughout the day. So they are just a couple of tips for my dry-skinned friends or anyone that's experiencing symptoms of dryness, flaking, caking, and just general makeup drama in winter. I sympathize with you. It can be a really big battle. I know oily skin friends have a lot of the same, on the opposite end of the spectrum, but the same difficulties with applying makeup, with making sure that it looks good and stays good throughout the day. But dry skin in particular has a lot of these kind of just little things that if you can have a few tricks up your sleeve, you will make your makeup last throughout the day and still look good when you get to the end of the day, so that you don't kind of look in the mirror and go, oh dear. So hopefully you picked up something that might help. If you have, I would love it if you would share this episode with someone else, maybe that has dry skin, someone else who you have noticed complaining about makeup that's just not sitting right or looking a bit cakey or flaky or whatnot. Pass it on to them. I'm going to wrap it up here for today, but I will be back in your ears soon, and in the meantime I will see you on Style Story.